I'm going to be showing you how to make these really cute mini pumpkins for your dolls. This is also a great way to recycle bottle caps that you would normally just throw away. So the materials you will need are some bottle caps. These are milk and juice bottle caps I'm using, but you can basically use any bottle caps. Then you need some hot glue, orange and green construction paper, scissors, toilet paper or paper towel roll. Okay, so here's how to make a normal pumpkin for your dolls. So first, put your other bottle caps aside, take 2 of them, get some hot glue, and run it around the edges of the bottle cap, and then glue them together. Make sure you kind of press a little bit so they stick, but don't press too much that they're gonna separate. I have to do this multiple times, so it's okay if you have to peel off the glue and try again. And it's okay if glue is around the edges. You can just wipe it off when the hot glue is dry. Don't do it when it's hot because it hurts to burn your finger. Okay, so now you're gonna take your orange paper. I didn't actually measure, I just kind of eyeballed, but if you can see, putting the paper, kind of measuring over and kind of folding it so I know at least about where. Make sure it's bigger and so it leaves some excess. And just make sure it's a square and or a rectangle. So now you're going to put some hot glue on one of the flat sides of the bottle caps and stick it in the middle of the square rectangle paper you just cut out. And now you're just going to turn it over and wrap the paper around it. It doesn't matter if it creases. Sorry, none of this is in frame. Here I kind of am showing you. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna bunch it all up at the top and carefully unwrap it and put glue on the edges of the ball cap and on the top so this all forms together. And you're gonna push on the sides and on the top so everything sticks. And since there are still some flaps that are not glued, you just glue them down. And so here's what the pumpkin looks like so far. And now I'm just finding more flaps that need to be glued. So now you're going to take your toilet paper roll or paper towel roll and just cut a little bit of it. However thick you make this, that's how thick your stem is going to be. You're going to at least want to cut around the roll at least once around so it's thick enough, unless you're making a really tiny pumpkin, but you're going to want to go around at least once. So here's mine. And so now I'm just going to kind of roll it or roll, and there you can see, and I just continue to do that. It did take me a couple of tries, but afterwards it was good. And along the way you might just want to glue some parts just so it stays together better, and that way it's a little easier to make the stem. Make sure you wrap it around kind of tight so your stem doesn't have too many holes. Once you've reached the end, you're going to put some glue at the end of it and attach it and just roll it again and make sure it's secure so your stem doesn't fall apart. So now you're going to take your pumpkin and you're going to put some glue on one of the sides of your stem and stick it onto the top of the pumpkin. So now you're going to take your green paper, cut a little strip of it, however long you want your little curly leaf thing, I don't know what it's called, to be, and you're just gonna roll it up. I did have to do this multiple times to actually get it to roll up properly. You could actually roll this in something round like a pencil. So now I'm just carefully taking it out of its roll. And so now I'm just going to glue it next to the stem. Now I'm just going to cut off this little excess bit that I don't want. You don't have to do this. It's just I found a piece that I didn't like. And there's your cute little finished pumpkin. Okay, so now I'm going to be making a tall pumpkin. It's about the same, except I'm using more bottle caps and more paper. It's just a tiny bit different, but barely. So I'm going to take 4 bottle caps. You can take as many as you want, 3, 5. So I'm just going to kind of measure how much I want by just putting these on top of each other and seeing what height I like best. Okay, so now I'm just going to be basically doing the same thing as before, just putting glue around the rim of the bottle cap and now attaching 2 together. But now I'm going to be taking one more and doing the exact same thing by putting glue around the edges and then attaching it to the stack of bottle caps that I just made. And then I'm going to be doing that again so I can make my pumpkin even taller. Here I will also be doing the same thing with the paper, just kind of eyeballing it and seeing how big I need to make the square or rectangle and just cutting it out. Now on one of the flat sides of the bottle cap, I'm going to be putting glue and then gluing it to the middle of the piece of paper that I just cut out. Wrap the paper around. Here I'm showing it better than last time. Just wrap it around the bottle caps, squish it at the top, and then I realized that I had a bit of a spot that was uncovered. So if this happens to you, just take a little piece of the same color of paper and glue it to that spot. But now I will be unraveling some of this carefully and putting glue around the edges and the top so it all sticks together. I'm gluing down the flaps that are sticking out. And then I see there's a tiny little bit of white that's peeking out. So I'm going to take more paper and glue it to cover the white spot. Now I'm going to be taking my toilet paper roll and just cutting it how thick I want it. I'm making this a little thicker than last time. So I'm just cutting it out, and it made a little bit of a oval loop. So I'm just cutting it so it's just one long piece instead of a loop. And doing the same thing by wrapping it around and gluing it every once in a while so it stays together. And at the end, I'm just putting a bunch of glue so it can stay together. Okay, so now I'm going to be putting glue on the bottom of the stem and then gluing it to the top middle of my pumpkin. For the curly leaf thing, I'm going to be doing the same thing by cutting a strip of green paper, and this time I'm rolling it on a marker. And then gluing it next to the stem. Here I'm just rolling it again to try and get it to the shape I want. And there you have it. Here's a little pumpkin. I hope you enjoyed this craft and hope you can make little pumpkins for your dolls. And if you do make these pumpkins, please email me a picture of them. I would love to see it. Anyway, bye! Happy fall!